Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Any questions? Any questions? In case you want to hook them up, do it now. Step back.
This Bellator special feature fight in the heavyweight division. But you knew that by looking at these two fighters. Round number one, Pat Bennett in the green trunks, Conrad in the blue trunks. Straight
nice
left jab by Bennett. Of all of the fighters that we spoke to in our fighter meetings this week, Jimmy, Bennett was by far the most confident for his chances of victory. That includes Eddie Alvarez, that includes Roger Huerta.
Well, two nice right hands so far by Bennett. You can tell he's looking to hit him with his best shot.
Bennett said that he wants to keep things standing.
Oh, good left hook.
Bennett was a Division III college wrestler, but he does not want to wrestle with the two-time NCAA Division I champion from the University of Minnesota, Conrad.
Wow, he has that body lock, and that's a takedown 9 times out of 10. Let's see what Bennett can do from here.
With the outside trip, that was clever by Conrad. Gary Foreman is the referee.
Don't grab the cage.
You know, Bennett told us in the interview he has confidence in his guard, but, you know, against a guy this size, there's no such thing as guard, Sean. This is what I call a turtle fight. Whoever ends up on their back is in big trouble.
Jimmy, you and I have done a lot of fights in Europe and Asia where there's no heavyweight cap. Of course, in the US and Canada, you cap it at 265. Conrad said if there was no limit, he'd weigh in at about 285, 290.
And that is unbelievable. I see about these wrestlers too is they're deceptively fast. You know, his training partner Brock Lesnar, everybody talks about his strength and his size, but he's deceptively fast. He moves like a much lighter guy. That's what a great mixed martial arts has, size, but you know, the speed and power to go with it. Let's see if Conrad has that.
Conrad trying to get in the side control.
Bennett doing well so far.
Bennett holding an open half guard on Conrad.
Someone is cut. I see some blood here, Sean. Can't tell where it is or who it's from.
Body shots there by Conrad. Not a lot of steam on that with the left hand.
You see the strategy here of Bennett. Hold on, let the referee stand it up where you can do damage. Not really going for any submissions. I'm actually amazed he was able to get his guard around him, somebody that size.
Closed guard now by Pat Bennett. A big man, 6'3", 243¼ pounds for this fight. A lot smaller though than Conrad. 6'4" and weighing in at 266. Again, cutting down from his walk-around weight of about 290.
Now with that weight difference, situations like this where normally you might get a scramble, you push the guy off with your legs, you know, Pat Bennett just can't do that against Conrad.
Bennett trying to throw from his back. Again with the half guard, an open half guard by Pat Bennett, preventing Conrad from passing the side control.
You see Conrad briefly trying to trap the right arm of Bennett with his knee, set up a crucifix, but Pat Bennett's still mobile enough to not fall for that one. Crowd's starting to get a little restless here, Sean. This is where Conrad wants to be on top with Bennett, kind of pressed up against the cage. That limits his mobility a lot.
Referee Gary Foreman taking a very close look. I wonder if he's going to see enough and stand these two fighters back up. A lot more leeway given the heavyweights than, say, 135-pounders.
Yeah, a lot more leeway given, and also in the first round, you're just going to get a lot more time. As the fight wears on, referees get less tolerant of inactivity.
Left by Conrad. Conrad not fully getting off with his punches here, Jimmy.
No, not doing a lot of damage from the top. Staying, you know, busy, active. Now he's in full mount. Now Bennett
full mount by Conrad. Bennett gives his back. Bennett turtling under, trying to get to his feet. And again, full mount achieved by Conrad. Looking to finish this fight, the final minute of round number one.
See Bennett struggling to get out, but that is a huge man on top.
Almost a half Nelson held there by Conrad. Big hammer fist now with the right by Conrad.
If Bennett doesn't do something, this fight is going to get stopped very, very shortly.
Hold it, stop, 1 second, stop. Back in.
Mouthpiece put back in by referee Gary Foreman. interesting place to stop.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but still 23 seconds left. Plenty of time for Conrad to pour it on and win the fight. Bennett has to stay smart. I don't know if he knows how much time is left, Sean.
Conrad trying to finish. Dying seconds of round number 1. Can he finish, or will we go to a second round here at the Wang Theater in Boston? There you see the bloodied Pat Bennett. Set for round number 2, this Bellator special feature fight in the heavyweight division. Pat Bennett facing 2-time NCAA wrestling champion, and training partner of UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar, Cole Konrad. Bennett in the green trunks, Conrad in the blue trunks.
Now, Bennett may be battered, but it's a matter of how much energy Cole Conrad expended with that ground and pound at the end.
Bennett said that he wants to keep things standing, as you would imagine, against the 2-time NCAA wrestling champion. Bennett, though, as we mentioned, was a Division III college wrestler, State University of New York, Rockport.
Oh, good right hand by Cole Conrad.
Conrad again pushing his man back.
Now, when they clinch up, you see the physical difference between Cole Conrad and Pat Bennett.
Knee there by Bennett and getting out of the clinch.
That's what he has to do, use his footwork, stay off the cage. Problem is he looks very fatigued. I don't think he has enough energy to put that bounce in the step that he needs.
Bennett says that he does have some kicks, but he's really a puncher.
Well, kicking against a wrestler is always risky.
Lead left there by Bennett. Left by Conrad, missing the mark.
Neither guy doing a whole lot in this second round. I think both guys are tired.
And left clipped the chin there with Bennett. Good punch by Conrad on the jab.
That's one of these things you can't really tell in the first 2 or 3 fights a guy has, is how well they pace themselves.
Third pro MMA fight for Cole Conrad. First time he has been into round number 2.
Pat Bennett much more confident with his strikes in the first round, but when you spend time on your back after punching, it makes you very, very cautious, and that caution is stopping Pat Bennett from really getting any offense going.
Referee Gary Foreman just called for action. Heard a few calls for action from our fans here in Boston at the Wang Theater.
So the fans here in Boston, this is the first big televised MMA show in Massachusetts, but long history of boxing here in Boston. They know, big, huge fight fans.
Don't grab the shorts.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
John L. Sullivan.
John L. Sullivan. Rocky Marciano, both from Brockton, Massachusetts, which is nearby here in Boston. Great history of fighting here in Massachusetts.
That is Jimmy Smith. Our entire Bellator crew. I'm Sean Wheelock. We are on stage under the lights at the historic 85-year-old Wang Theater in Boston for Bellator Fighting Championships. Round number 2, scheduled for 3, this Bellator special feature fight in the heavyweight division.
Pat Bennett just looked up at the clock. He is very fatigued, Sean. See, I think having that body weight on you, even in the clinch, and holding up a guy who outweighs you by as much as 30 pounds right now, maybe 40 once he's hydrated.
Conrad's starting to get his hands a little lower. Then again, so is Bennett.
Oh, good right hand.
Bennett unable to connect on the inside.
No,
that's a good knee by Conrad.
Excellent knee. Cole Conrad hands down at his knees. That is fatigue. You don't know really what a guy's got until you see that third round, second round, tough fight. Cole Conrad, remember, blew away both of his guys in the first round. Pat Bennett, his only fight in the first round. No substitute for the actual fight, Sean.
Feint there by Cole Conrad. Big right hand by Conrad. Maybe his best punch of the fight, certainly this round. That was his best punch, that left hook.
But Conrad not putting anything together, throwing one shot and then backing off. He's not throwing combination punches, and he's not pushing in off those punches to initiate a clinch.
Blood out of both nostrils of Pat Bennett, plus a nasty little mouse under his left eye.
That's something Matt Hughes was so good at. He'd throw that good right hand and follow that into a takedown. They were all one movement. He didn't separate his punching from his grappling. Cole Conrad just taking one shot and then backing off again.
Good left by Bennett. Bennett escaping those clinches. Dying seconds of round number 2. We seem to be headed for a third and final round. Pat Bennett versus Cole Conrad.
Both these guys having a lot of trouble keeping their energy level up in this second round, Sean. They need to pick it up in the third.
We're coming back to Boston, Massachusetts for Bellator. Through Bellator's alliance with Madison Square Garden, we are at the Wang Theater tonight in Boston, Massachusetts. Again, this is the first nationally televised MMA event in the history of the city of Boston in the state of Massachusetts. Bellator 17.
Ready?
Third and final round. Heavyweight division, this Bellator special feature fight. Pat Bennett in the green trunks. Cole Conrad in the blue trunks. Conrad just eating that hip kick. Smattering of boos from the fans here in Boston.
Well, you know, Pat Bennett, by my score, oh, nice spin kick.
First spin kick we've seen from Bennett.
I was about to say, Pat Bennett needs to let it all hang out. Looks like he's doing that, Sean.
2-0 2018 on your unofficial scorecard, Jimmy, for Conrad?
That's where I would put it. Pat Bennett needs to finish him or go home. In order to do that, he has to be aggressive and take a lot of chances, which, judging by that spin kick, he's more than willing to do.
Barrett not only disparaging Cole Conrad as an MMA fighter, said he wasn't that impressed with his wrestling. Again, this is a 2-time NCAA Division I champion.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. Minnesota has an outstanding program. They're known for turning out great heavyweights, and Cole Conrad may be one of the best ever in the history of the Golden Gophers.
Pat Bennett was not intimidated in our fighter meetings on Tuesday, was not intimidated at the weigh-ins yesterday, not intimidated versus Cole Conrad in this bout. Conrad, though, seems to be getting the better of things.
Now, Cole Conrad's initiated a lot of these clinches, but hasn't gotten a takedown since the first round.
Just a moment ago, a foot stomp there from Cole Conrad. He was fishing for an inside leg trip. Bennett letting go with the hands. Conrad takes a step back. A knee by Cole Conrad. Bennett trying to open up things here. Cole Conrad, his hands are getting lower and lower.
Wow, big cut on the left eye of Pat Bennett.
Had a mouse under his left eye. That hasn't popped, but now opened up in the left brow, as well as blood pouring out of both nostrils. Conrad sticking out the jab.
Bennett fighting more aggressively in this third round, but 3 minutes left to go.
Two collegiate wrestlers, Jimmy. This has been virtually all stand-up. Certainly since round number 2.
Yeah, it has been. And Cole Conrad just having a little more energy than Pat Bennett in this third round. Pat Bennett has shown a lot of life, but he has another 2.5 minutes to go.
Conrad just looked at our referee, Gary Foreman. Not sure why. Swing and a miss by Conrad. Right hand by Bennett.
Bennett throwing a little bit of combinations. Cole Conrad just throwing one punch at a time. Bennett winning throws, throwing 2 or 3.
Good left jab by Conrad. You know, that left jab has been there for him all fight long. He just doesn't throw it a lot. Knee by Bennett. Few unnatural blinks now from Cole Conrad. He's not cut. Might be the sweat in his eye. Maybe the effects of a punch.
Man, you hear his corner urging him, let him go. Pat Bennett's corner wants him to unload his punches. Like I tell my guys, you can't take any home with you. You have to use them now. Especially when you're behind 2 rounds to none.
End of round number 1. Conrad had mounts. Bennett was in all sorts of trouble. Since then, though, Bennett has not taken a lot of punishment. This fight, again, has been pretty much all standing and striking.
Minute 30 left. Is Bennett going to turn it up and look for the knockout? If he doesn't, I don't see this fight going his way, Sean.
Push kick by Cole Conrad. again, interestingly, Cole Conrad looked to our referee, Gary Foreman. Not sure what that's about.
I think, you know, for those at home, the clock is behind us. It's to the left of where Cole Conrad was. He might be trying to look at the clock and is looking past Rojan at the clock to see how much time is left. That'd be my guess, Sean.
Right hand clubbing by Conrad.
This comes a time when you want to you decide if you want to win or you want the fight to be over. I think Cole Conrad just may want the fight to be over, Sean. When you're looking at the clock, that's usually the case.
Hip kick again by Bennett. Good right hand by Conrad. Best punch of this round. Good right hand by Bennett. His best punch of this round.
30 seconds left. Who's going to turn it up here, Sean? If you're Pat Bennett, you got to swing for the fences here.
Closing seconds of this fight. Third and final round. This will go to the judges' scorecards. The end of the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge David Ginsburg scores about 30-26. Mark Aliberti, 29-28. And Michael Walls, 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated, Cole Conrad.
Unanimous decision victory for Cole Conrad, but he hears a few boos for good measure. Conrad defeats Pat Bennett in Bellator.
Gentlemen, you'll be given your instructions in the locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves intelligently at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Come out fighting.
This is Bellator's third heavyweight tournament quarterfinal. To join Neil Grove and Damian Grabowski in the semifinal round. The Spaniard, Rojan Urett. He's in the black trunks. Versus the American Cole Conrad. He's in the red trunks. The bell in round number one. Andrew Sheptovsky is the referee.
Wow, Cole Conrad coming right at Rojan Urett.
Knees by Cole Conrad. Says that in training with UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar, he's really been working on his striking.
Well, Urett said I wanted to stay out of the clinch, and man, Cole Conrad coming right straight at him with the clinch.
Urett, a BJJ black belt, Jimmy, as you said, told us in our fighter meeting that he has been working extensively on his kickboxing in preparation for this bout. Said that he feels very comfortable on the ground from both top and bottom position, but that he is not going to look for the takedown in this fight.
I think that's a good idea. I don't think he has much of a shot of taking down Cole Conrad.
Okay, Conrad, a two-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion from the University of Minnesota. And there's the first takedown.
Urett trying to get his guard back. Right now in half guard.
Conrad weighing in at the heavyweight maximum of 265 pounds. Heavyweight maximum anyway in the US and Canada. Unlimited in most other MMA countries. Urett, 250 pounds, the heaviest of his career. Side control by Cole Conrad.
Now it's going to be interesting to see the strategy Cole employs here. Is he going to try and pass and work his jiu-jitsu, pass half guard, or is he going to sit up and do damage?
Sneaky little knee on the left side by Conrad.
There you go, good. Open up the take some. Use your left hand too. Hammer with your left.
Urett told us that he would be comfortable on his back, but obviously he didn't want to find himself in this position.
Work his neck a little bit. Work his neck a little bit. There you go. Keep doing damage. Doing good. There you go. Good. There you go. More of that. Body.
That's one thing wrestlers are so good at, and why they make the transition to MMA really so effortlessly is they understand instinctively ground defense. They know how to keep their arms short. They know how to move effectively. That's why someone like, Season 2 champ Joe Warren can beat Patricio Pitbull on the ground. He stays safe. He stays tight. He knows how to not give anything up.
Conrad told us that the advice given to him by UFC heavyweight champion and his training partner Brock Lesnar was not to waste time in this bout.
But he didn't. He came right after Rojan Urett.
Really good, Cole. Real good right there. There you go.
Conrad continues to work the body, the left side of the rib cage of Rojan Urett.
There you go.
Rojan just having no luck using this half guard.
There you go. There you go.
Not able to get back to full guard either.
There you go. Head down. gotta put your head on the mat. Head on the mat. Head down. Head down.
Conrad has really been working on his fitness, on his conditioning. 12 months ago, he walked around at 320 pounds.
Now score it.
Unbelievable.
Body.
Now walks around at 270 pounds, so not a tough cut down to the 265 maximum. Actually 266. They give you a pound in most states in the U.S.
The fact that you need a pound to make heavyweight says a lot about your build.
Jimmy, when you and I were calling fights for M1, we had Urett in Kansas City, July of last year, a draw versus Alexei Oleinik, 243 pounds. We previously called his fight April of last year in Tokyo, submitted the French Greco-Roman wrestler Soufiane El Garni, weighed just 229 pounds.
Going hard for the guillotine, but not able to pull it off against Urett, but he's staying on top.
Urett has really committed himself to becoming a bigger and more powerful, more muscular heavyweight, because he knows that he's going to face fighters with the bodies of Cole Conrad.
And that's one thing you always hear when you talk to foreign fighters. What's it like taking on an American? They always say the same thing. They're wrestlers. They know how to cut weight. They're big. They're strong. There's not a big tradition of wrestling, grappling in Spain. He's not used to guys who are cutting weight to make heavyweight. You just don't see them that often.
Jimmy, how many times have we called fights in Europe, in Asia, where we've seen heavyweights under 225 pounds? A lot.
A lot. Not often in the United States.
This is the position that Urett feels favors him. He's not really let the kicks go yet. Obviously wary of Conrad's takedown. Closing seconds, round number one. Nice inside thigh kick there by the Spaniard Urett. Kick by Cole Conrad, missing with the left. We are going to round number two. Round number two upcoming in this third heavyweight tournament quarterfinal, Bellator's inaugural heavyweight tournament. The Spaniard, Rojan Urett versus the American Cole Conrad, to join Neil Grove and Damian Grabowski in the last four. Jimmy, how do you have this on your scorecard?
Well, 10-9 Cole Conrad on top most of that first fight. Didn't do a ton of damage, but controlled the position, and he was aggressive.
Missing with the step-in jab by Conrad. Kick by Cole Conrad. Something he's been working on a lot.
Now about the scoring and judging, and you know, the past Bellator fights, actually wrote a little blog about the scoring. You see it on Jimmy Smith MMA, my Twitter or my Facebook. Never know exactly how the judges are going to see it, Sean.
Well, you really disagreed in our last heavyweight quarterfinal.
I did. I gave it 29-28 for Barrett. Judges saw it 30-27.
For Damian Grabowski, the winner. Knee by Urett, getting out of that clinch. We know Urett has kicks. He has a head kick, and yet he's not throwing. That's got to be fear of the takedown, right,
Yeah,
Jimmy?
he's worried. You just don't throw a lot of kicks against a wrestler of Cole's caliber. They will catch it and take you down every time. That was a good leg kick.
Very good leg kick. Success for Urett on his kick from the miss of the kick of Cole Conrad.
You see, neither one of these guys that comfortable on the feet. Now this is where Cole Conrad wants to be, but Urett, to his credit, circling out of that position. That's what wrestlers are so good at, is stifling your offense. You don't want to throw a lot of punches. You don't want to move forward a lot because they're going to take you down.
Urett tried to get off there with the right hand, just missed the mark. Conrad missing with his own right.
Sorry, even experienced kickboxers have trouble with wrestlers like Cole Conrad, let alone someone like, you know, Urett, who's trying hard to get better at kickboxing, but is not an expert.
There was the head kick from Rojan Urett. Easily blocked by Cole Conrad. Right hand by Conrad didn't find its way through.
We've seen this from Cole Conrad before, an active first round, and he slowed down a lot in the second and third rounds. That's why he said, I've tried to address conditioning issues.
The drive forward by Conrad.
There you go.
The knee from Cole Conrad.
Don't let him out of here. Hey, wear him down here.
Urett trying to answer with his own knees to the thigh.
Pressure, more pressure on him. More pressure. Hey, Cole, you tired? Pressure on him now. Hands up.
Jimmy, if you're in the corner of Rojan Urett and you speak better Spanish than you do, what would you be telling your man?
I would say angle, but you have to use your angles. He's moving his feet well. He's angling, but he's not committing to his strikes.
Keep fighting. Don't get impatient. Don't get impatient. Keep fighting.
You know, it's nice to not get taken down, but you have to answer back and do something, or else you're going to lose a lopsided decision.
Clubbing right hand a moment ago from Cole Conrad.
And that's how Cole Conrad has won so far in Bellator. Lopsided decisions. Guys don't let their hands go because they're scared of getting taken down. Well, it's nice to not getting taken down, but you have to do something to win the fight.
And kick again, attempted by Urett, not finding its way through. Is that the sign of confidence or frustration from Urett?
I think frustration. He's just trying to dig into his bag of tricks. And also Cole slowing down with his takedown. So Urett just not as afraid of it as he was in the first round.
Outside trip there. Nicely done by Cole Conrad. Urett trying to posture up on his knees.
Right there, pressure, knee the leg.
To his credit, the Spaniard back to his feet.
More, knee the leg.
With a very big man trying to keep him down.
It's fortunate these cages are really, really strong.
Pressure, pressure, knee.
That's a lot of weight on that cage.
Keep damaging there. Keep going. Wear him down with it.
Knee to the thigh by Rojan Urett, rather by Cole Conrad on the left side of Rojan Urett.
Keep knee the leg. Inside, outside.
Another knee by Conrad. And another knee by the American. Right hand by Cole Conrad. Dying seconds of round two, and we will have a third and final round. Our final round of the night in Bellator 25. Our third heavyweight tournament quarterfinal. Rojan Urett from Spain versus Cole Conrad from St. Paul, Minnesota in the United States. Round number three, and three judges, of course, scoring cage side for the state of Illinois. And Jimmy, you have the unofficial card.
Well, I gotta say 29-28 for Cole Conrad. I'm sorry.
Your math is like mine on last week's
I know,
podcast.
2018.
For those of you not with us last week, I could not add 10 and 9.
Work it. Body, body, head. Body, body, head.
I was thinking 3 rounds, we've only had 2. 2018. Maybe I'm thinking ahead. It could be possible.
Urett on the bottom, he's in the black trunks.
Get your head up, Cole.
Conrad in the top position, he's in the red
Break it
trunks.
free. Inside tie, get your head up. There you go, good. Good. Feel him reach over there. Feel him reach over. Elbow up, left elbow up. Good. Body, head. Middle of the body, too. Posture up, middle of the body.
Close guard held by Urett.
Posture up, middle of the body. Keep wearing on it. Wearing him down here.
Conrad just trying to be busy with those punches, both sides of the rib cage.
Right hand.
Urett trying to rubber guard for a second. It's just hard to get a guard working against someone that big.
Elbows in his chest. Good. Recover. Good. Very good. Cole, he's exhausted here.
The
Keep
close
working.
guard from the Spaniard, Rojan Urett.
Good. Right hand inside. Get him off your head. Keep him off your head, Cole. No different wrestling. Posture up, body shot. Up high.
His corner saying it's no different than wrestling. Do the same thing you would do if you were wrestling. Posture up.
Jimmy, is this the case where you think that Conrad is simply too big for Urett, or is he just too technical of a wrestler for Rojan
A
Urett?
combination of both. A big, powerful wrestler is so hard to get around.
Nice job. Stay consistent, man. Break his guard now.
Again, Urett closes guard.
Pass his guard, Cole.
When you think of how many big, dominant heavyweight wrestlers we've had in this sport. Back to Mark Coleman, Mark Kerr, Randy Couture.
Right hand inside first.
Certainly Brock Lesnar, the
Brock
training partner of
Lesnar,
Cole
I know.
Conrad.
Big, huge wrestlers. There's a reason they're so successful. It's really hard to deal with them.
Urett getting his guard a bit higher. You see off the belt line.
This is not Elio Gracie fighting someone in the 50s and 60s when, 3-hour time limit. This isn't how it works. You have 5 minutes to get a submission, and against a big, strong wrestler, it's a tall order. It's a very tall order.
There you go, good. Hand over again, hard. Elbows in his chest. Oh, that's good. Keep doing it.
Urett's not taking much punishment on the bottom, but he's not doing anything offensively either.
No, and as far as the judging goes, if you're on the bottom, you are losing 9 times out of 10.
Pass guard. Pass it. There you go, good.
Discontent from the fans here in Chicago, Illinois.
Feel his hip.
Will that dog Cole Conrad throughout the tournament?
Advance your position.
We saw Joe Warren do it, get all the way to the finals via decisioning everyone.
There you go. Over that. All the way over.
But Joe Warren, to his credit, much more active on top than Cole Conrad.
Joe Warren also weighs 120 pounds. It's less than Cole Conrad.
Very true.
One Zoila Frosto less.
But look, if you look at also Ben Askren, our welterweight champ last season, a wrestler who got there on the strength of his ability to take top and control. Had one very, very controversial finish. The rest were decisions, and he's our champion. Same thing with Joe Warren. So, a wrestler can get through a tournament.
Final minute of this fight. So, Jimmy, if you're in the corner of Cole Conrad, are you telling your fighter just stay in this position, don't take any chances?
I'm of the opinion that do what you have done to get this far. Are you winning the fight, staying on top, grounding and pounding? Yes, you are. So keep doing it.
Half guard, as you see there, held by Rojan Urett.
I don't like fighters that get passive in the 3rd round because they have 2 in the bank, because, a lot of times that's when you get caught. Ask Chael Sonnen, momentary lapse, boom, I'm out of the fight. You can't do that. You have to stay mentally sharp, and if being aggressive keeps you sharp, go for it. A lot of guys aren't, they let up on their aggression and they make a mistake. They get a little lazy. Keep doing what you're doing. That's one thing Joe Warren and Ben Askren did very effectively. They stayed busy in the 3rd round.
Final seconds of this 3rd heavyweight tournament quarterfinal. The bell, the end of the fight. Sign of sportsmanship from both men.
I don't think there should be any doubt here. 30-27 for Cole Konrad, but I have been wrong before, so we'll have to see. My record tonight is not great.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the judges' scorecards, Kevin Caldwell, James Clay Goodman, and Brian Buontello all scored about exactly the same at 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Cole, the Polar Bear Conrad.
Jimmy, I was saying, for those of you who joined us late, you thought that Barrett defeated Grabowski. You were incorrect in your assessment there, although I might have agreed with you, but you definitely called this, and all 3 judges for the state of Illinois in agreement.
Fighters gone over the rules in the back. No final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
This for a place in the final of Bellator's inaugural heavyweight tournament to join Neil Grove. Semi-final number 2. Damian Grabowski is in the red trunks. Cole Conrad in the black trunks.
Are you ready?
Jason Herzog is the referee. Round number 1. Flying start by Grabowski and a big takedown by Conrad, straight in the side mount.
Now, they cannot see at home how excited Joe Warren is right now. You said Cole Conrad is not only going to win, he's going to dominate and finish this fight fast.
Yeah, you saw it right there. Hardcore wrestler, nice double leg, put him on his back, hurt him a little bit. That's what we're seeing right now.
Now, we know he's a great wrestler, but he has not so far in Bellator been an outstanding finisher. You think that changes tonight?
There's a first thing for everything, guys, all right? It's the first time for him to knock a guy out, first time to get a finish. So I think tonight is his night.
Damian Grabowski in our fighter meeting was very honest. Through his Polish to English translator, he said that he really expected to find himself early and often in this position. He's been working on punching from the bottom and his submissions from the bottom.
Scott Barrett told me when he fought Grabowski, he said his guard was very tricky. He fought very well from his back. He said, I think if Cole Conrad isn't careful, he's going to be in trouble from the top. I don't know if I agree with that, but you know he has a tricky guard, knows how to move from the bottom.
Big knees from Cole Conrad.
Now, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, the heavyweight wrestling limit in the NCAAs is 265, is it around there?
275.
275. So he's used to being, you know, to taking on big guys and being the big man on the mat and certainly in the cage.
Well, he's used to controlling big men, okay? In collegiate wrestling, you control a big man, and that's what the bottom man here is going to have a problem dealing with the control of Cole Conrad.
Cole Conrad weighing in 265 3/4 pounds. The heavyweight limit, the U.S. and Canada under the Unified Rules of Combat is 265, but most states, including here in Wisconsin, will give you a 1 pound overage. A year ago, Cole Conrad weighed 320 pounds. Grabowski normally walks at 230 pounds, actually has put on weight for this Bellator tournament. It was 240 for his quarterfinal round victory in this tournament versus Scott Barrett, a pound heavier for this bout.
Now, you saw those were nice knees to the ribs by Cole Konrad, trying to soften Grabowski up. You know, that's one of the problems wrestlers face, is maintaining control while doing damage. You raise up to strike, your opponent has that opportunity to move. Is that the balance you have to strike on top of the wrestler?
You definitely need to understand as a wrestler, you got to keep your elbows in, you got to keep your posture right. I've fallen into that trouble. I think that his camp has went over enough with him. He understands his game plan.
Conrad's still in half guard, trying to pass.
You see Grabowski's, to his credit, trying to scramble, trying to get in better position, but he's an undersized heavyweight, and on the ground is where you really feel that weight advantage. Strikers, and you can move around. A big guy doesn't necessarily hit harder, but man, when they're on top of you, you really notice the difference.
Well, you don't want to be on the bottom of a big man like this. This is where he wants to be. He's just taking mentally, just taking energy out of him every single time. Those knees and those forearms underneath that chin.
Oh, good mobility by Cole Konrad, hopping over that full guard to get back into half guard.
Grabowski holding on the half guard. Conrad looking to pass back into side control.
And Conrad, very athletic for a bigger guy. He has good explosion, has good movement when he needs to.
He's very agile for this weight.
Now, coming from a jiu-jitsu background myself, Grabowski has to scramble, he has to move, he has to use that left shin to get a little space with his half guard. This traditional half guard he's holding right now, I don't think he's going to be able to move Cole Conrad with that.
No, look at Cole Conrad. Look at his face is fine. The bottom man's face is a little red. He's taking air out of it. It's exactly what he wants.
Conrad was looking for the key lock a moment ago, couldn't find it.
No, it's like having a wet blanket on top of you. It just takes everything out of you.
Good left hand from the top position by Cole Conrad. Grabowski trying to throw the right hand from the bottom. Virtually no power on that punch.
But you know, this is what I talked about in the beginning. I said I don't know if Cole Konrad would surprise me if he ran through Grabowski, because he tends to favor control over doing damage. He's showing great control, obviously winning this round, only 30 seconds left, but not doing a ton of damage. That seems to be his MO so far.
But also he is doing his game plan. I mean, there's a lot for the fans out there. There's a lot more technique going on top than you see right now. This guy's 275 pounds. The other guy, he's got skills.
Grabowski said that he thinks of himself in MMA as a grappler first, striker second, holds the rank of purple belt in BJJ.
Looked like there's a cut, I think, over the left eye of Grabowski. Can't really see it here. Now you see here, just like I thought, Cole Konrad coming in right for the takedown. Not trading hands at all. Very simple double-edged wrestling 101, Joe.
Yeah, it's timing right there. He saw the punch coming, he changed his levels, and hit him hard in the chest.
Now, I think Grabowski needs to use his footwork and not move into Cole Konrad and give him such an easy takedown.
Round number 2, semifinal number 2 of Bellator's heavyweight tournament. Neil Grove awaits the victor of this match in the final, set for October. With Jimmy Smith and Bellator's new world featherweight champion, the self-proclaimed baddest man on the planet, Joe Warren. I'm Sean Wheelock. Damian Grabowski in the red trunks, Cole Conrad in the black trunks. Conrad back to top position again, like so much of round 1, being held in the half guard of the full Damian Grabowski. 3 judges scoring cage side from the state of Wisconsin. Jimmy first, Joe second. You both have the unofficial scorecards.
10-9 Cole Conrad. If you don't agree, Joe, I got to question your sanity more than I already do.
Yeah, you know me, a 10-9, the wrestler. I'm picking it every time.
And that clinch right there, aside from the outside trip, which I know is illegal, that's pure Greco-Roman there, which is where you specialize.
Yeah, that's a position he wants to be in. Once again, he is doing a lot of technique that you're not seeing, a lot of pressure, hip control, things on top to keep him flat on the ground. This is part of his game plan.
Now, talk a little bit about the difference between wrestling in MMA and wrestling, in the Olympics or in the NCAAs. Caution, stalling, you hear it all the time. It's hard to take someone down who's not moving forward, who's moving backwards, who's moving side to side. They'll ding you for that in the NCAAs. They won't do it here in MMA. How hard does it take somebody down who's angling or moving?
Yeah, that's the whole difference with the striker. He creates an angle, and he gets away from you so you can't get your hands on him.
You see Grabowski going there for the Kimura, but I don't see him getting that if he's not in full guard.
No, I think his pressure, Cole Conrad's pressure right here, his position is half guard. He's ready to rock and roll.
We see the escape here by Cole Conrad. He's putting his weight on the shoulder of Grabowski, really collapsing that left arm. That's how you fight the Kimura. And guy's big as Cole Conrad on you, he's not going to be able to pull that.
Still a very dangerous move.
Grabowski right in front of our commentary position, going hard for that Kimura.
Now, you hear some boos from the crowd. Well, is that the kind of thing that affects you as a competitor when you're on top? Should he listen to these, or should he go, hey, I'm winning?
No, Cole Conrad is a champion. He's used to fans that are always on his side, so he is blocking all this off, and he's focused on his game plan, and that is to make it to the next round and win this championship.
Now, that's the trick as a wrestler. Do you want to just win the fight? Do you want to try to be entertaining? You're a very entertaining fighter. You go hard, even though you have a background in wrestling. Is that important as a fighter?
We're talking 2 different things, me and other people, okay? I get the job done one way or the other.
Inside kick by Damian Grabowski.
The majority of men want to make it to the finals.
Side kick by Cole Conrad.
With a chance of USA for Cole Conrad.
USA.
I was about to say, Joe would be yelling at himself if he won a headset, and he yells it anyway.
Grabowski tried to catch the kick of Conrad, actually tried to shoot his own single leg. Did not work out as he had hoped.
Now, taking down Cole Conrad, I do not see that happening if you don't have that solid Division I experience. He's an outstanding wrestler.
The theme of this fight, Grabowski on the bottom, holding Cole Conrad in half guard. Big knee from Conrad.
This is how Jimmy thought it was going to go, right here. But I have high hopes for Cole here.
Now, as an employee of Bellator, I would never think of betting on a fight. Never, ever. But I would have taken your mortgage. You said this fight was going to be over in the first round.
I don't bet on fights. I just take people's money.
I was going for the Kimura now. Just as we said, you said first round. Even if it happens now, it doesn't count.
It's a finish. It's a finish.
Going hard for the Kimura.
Conrad cranking for the submission finish.
I think he might get it. He's putting a lot of weight on him.
Grabowski playing all defense here.
Now, this is hard to finish from half guard typically, but Cole Conrad, so good at putting weight on it. He was cranking that hard. Now going for the Americana.
Went for the key lock and lost it.
Took a lot out of the Polish man.
It certainly does. It's one of those things where, getting out of submissions is great. It doesn't win you the fight. Unless you, because you seem to make a career out of getting out of submissions.
Yeah.
Closing stages, round number 2.
Let's go, fighters. Gotta keep
Neil
going.
Grove about 20 feet to our right, watching this bout cage side. He will face the winner of this second semifinal in the final of Bellator's first ever heavyweight tournament.
Grabowski's bleeding a little bit from his eye.
Just grinding him out. Pretty much what we expected, a grinding performance by Cole Conrad. Cole Conrad going hard for the Kimura, but I think showing his inexperience in Jiu-Jitsu, trying that from half guard. Hard one to pull off if you don't pass the guard, Joe.
Oh, Jiu-Jitsu is very tricky, and he's new at the sport.
Third and final round. The second semifinal, Bellator's first ever heavyweight tournament. The winner to face Neil Grove next month in the final. The winner of that bout will become Bellator's first ever world heavyweight champion. Damian Grabowski from Poland is in the red trunks. Cole Konrad, originally from here in Wisconsin, is in the black trunks. 3 judges scoring officially cage side from the state of Wisconsin. 2 judges have the unofficial scorecard. That would be Jimmy Smith and Joe Warren.
What can you say? 2 rounds to none. 2018, none of them dominant, none of them 10-8 rounds, but easily controlled by Cole Conrad.
I agree. Cole Conrad is definitely controlling and working his game plan the way he needs to execute it the way he's doing right now. He finishes this fight a champ.
But the thing is that if you're Grabowski, you're stuck. If you move forward and try and get aggressive and finish the fight, you're going right into the takedown zone.
I feel like anytime your game plan is fight off your back, you got a problem.
That is very true.
Tight closed guard held by Damian Grabowski. Loose tape, as you see there on his left glove. Interesting to see what referee Jason Herzog will do with that. May call time. Actually, good refereeing, just yanked the tape off. Could have called time and then repositioned the men back in this closed guard. They need to do so.
Now, Joe, if you're in Cole Conrad's position, you're almost sure you're up 2 rounds to none, barring an insane judge. Do you turn it up here and go for the finish, or do you try and run out the round and he's up? Just as I was about to say that, Grabowski able to get back to his feet.
I need a cut.
Time called by referee Jason Herzog.
Cut, yep.
And it is for the tape on the glove.
They're just cutting the tape off the glove. They need some scissors. But what do? Do you turn it up, or do you go, hey, I'm ahead, let's slow this fight down, I know I've got it in the back?
Well, he's a national champion. He's used to pushing the pace. So right now he understands he is hurt, and he's going to try to take his heart now and finish this fight.
Well, when they're done, when this starts over again, I don't see anything but a quick takedown from Cole Conrad.
Well, I hope so.
2 undefeated fighters. Damian Grabowski entering this bout 13-0. Cole Conrad entering this bout 5-0.
And the fans out there, you don't know how big these boys really are. You know, I mean, for Cole to take a guy down like this and be able to control him, it's some serious technique.
Time in called by referee Jason Herzog. The resumption of our 3rd and final round. Outside trip and the takedown by Grabowski.
But he just cannot hold Cole Conrad down. He snaps right up and going for the guillotine is Grabowski.
Grabowski looking for his own submission finish.
Control his hands.
Trying to lock on the guillotine. Conrad slips his head free.
Not the most technical escape in the world, but as long as you get out. Isn't that right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm not the most technical fighter, but I'll get the job done, boys.
Now, I think Grabowski trying to take it to Cole Conrad, but he's getting too close, working for his own takedown, trying to punch. I think that's playing into Cole Conrad's game.
I think Cole's taking a few steps back, feel a little more comfortable, and understanding he needs to keep the distance.
Now this is Grabowski. He has to win the fight. Cole Conrad can sit back, he can give up around if he has to. It's up to Grabowski to push the pace and win this fight.
Grabowski trying to get off with the 1-2 wide punches. The big knee and take him down. Grabowski with the knee, Conrad with the takedown.
And that was just timing. You feel the knee, you know his leg has to come down. Beautiful outside
A body attack will negate any other offensive move from the other fighter. You know, knees, punches, he attack the body, lands on his back.
Again, Grabowski holding Conrad in half guard.
That's one of the dangers with attacking the body in Muay Thai, boxing. You have to be very close to work the ribs. That plays right into a wrestler's range.
Yes. Well, the ref is doing a good job of keeping the action and staying focused.
Not enough action on the ground from referee Jason Herzog, who orders the stand-up.
Well, that's the thing. In the 3rd round, refs are much less tolerant of the ground game. If you're not using it, they stand you up much faster in the 3rd round.
Yes. You see, you see fatigue.
Oh, good right hand by Grabowski.
You see fatigue on both of them right now.
And this is what I said in the inner circle. Grabowski can hit. He hit Barrett, but never finished him. He has no choice now but to finish Cole Conrad.
It'll be a tough thing to do right now, I feel.
He needs a Neil Grove-like performance to take Cole Conrad out. He can't pick him apart from here. It's too late for that.
Straight left hand by Grabowski did not get through. Again, the takedown from the 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion. From the University of Minnesota man, again in the top position. Again being held in the half guard of the pole, Damian Grabowski. 15th and final minute of this 2nd Bellator heavyweight tournament semifinal.
And this pressure right up against the cage, they're right in front of us. You can see this is a hard position to escape from if you're a bantamweight, let alone with a heavyweight like Cole Conrad on top of you. Very hard to get out from up against the cage.
Professional in this position.
That's another thing, coming from Poland, you know, guys with that Division I background. They're not hard to find guys like this in Poland.
Well, you take an undefeated foreigner that comes over here, what happens? He gets beat by a Division I wrestler.
Grabowski is looking for the Kimura. Dying seconds of this third and final round. Grabowski can't find the submission. The end of the fight. When we return, we will learn the winner of this second heavyweight tournament semifinal. Grabowski versus Conrad.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we'll go to the judges' scorecards. Dr. Richard Winter scores the bout 30-26, while judges Melody Wickers and Sal D'Amato both score the bout 30-27, all for the winner by unanimous decision. And now advancing to the final round of the Bellator heavyweight tournament, Cole, the Polar Bear Conrad.
Fighters gone over the rules in the back. There's no final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
The winner of this bout will be crowned Bellator's first ever world heavyweight champion. Cole Conrad is in the black trunks. Neil Grove is in the white trunks. Jason Herzog is the referee, scheduled for five 5-minute rounds.
Are you ready? Let's fight!
The bell in round number 1.
I'm surprised Cole Conrad has stood this long. Said he knew, I'm coming, I'm going to take him down.
Grove said he fully expects Conrad to look for the takedown within the opening 30 seconds. We're into the opening 20 seconds. No takedown attempt yet from Cole Conrad.
You see Neil Grove, he's going to be a little gun shy. He's going to try and catch Cole Conrad coming in. He's going to have to time it very well.
Two massive, massive heavyweights, both having the cut down to make the limit of 265 pounds. Conrad walking around now at 275 pounds. Grove last week was walking at 278 pounds. Jason Herzog, our referee, told me he weighs 180, so a combined 707 pounds in the Bellator cage. And there's the takedown from Cole Conrad, and Grove right back to his feet.
Conrad just overcommitted a little bit to that takedown, didn't settle his weight down.
Grove spent all last week training in Joe Warren's camp. Bellator's 145-pound champion, a former Greco-Roman wrestling world champion. Grove was working, as he said, defensive wrestling, getting out of bad positions on the bottom and avoiding the takedown.
And the question is going to be, can Grove get his strikes off while thinking about the takedown at the same time? It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, Grove would have already thrown 50 strikes in his first 2 fights at this point. Instead, being very cautious, not wanting to play into the strengths of Cole Konrad.
Grove's 2 fights to reach this final, a combined 2 minutes, 17 seconds. First round TKO wins versus Eddie Sanchez in the quarters, and Alexei Olenek in the semifinals. And again, Conrad with the takedown.
But you see how the takedown isn't even close. It's not he sprawls and has to fight for it. It's double leg and you go straight down.
Conrad to reach the final. A total of 30 minutes. Unanimous decision wins versus Rojan Urett in the quarterfinals and Damian Grabowski in the semifinals. Conrad, though, has won every round on the judges' scorecards through his first 2 fights in this tournament.
And once it's on the ground, it's no contest. I mean, Neil Grove says, I've been doing some sambo, and it's not the same. I mean, this is a guy on top, Cole Konrad, who's been grappling his entire life. He'd be hard for a world champ to catch.
Well, working last week in Denver, Colorado, in Joe Warren's camp, this is the type of position that Neil Grove was starting in.
Yeah, but what's Cole Konrad there? That's the question you get. It's hard to simulate a guy like this.
Cole Konrad, again, one of the main training partners of UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar, and so impressively a 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion at the University of Minnesota.
We've heard that so many times. In situations like this, Sean, Askren versus Hornbuckle, same deal. A guy who's a good striker, well-rounded mixed martial artist, taking on a guy who could out-wrestle him. And he said, I've been working with wrestlers, and there's a big difference between wrestlers and wrestlers like Cole Konrad, who's in the mount now.
Conrad in the mount, trying to spread out Neil Grove.
Fingers pointed on top. Watch your fingers.
The two fighters about 2.5 feet away from our commentary position. Left hands to the body by Conrad. Another left to the body, doubling up. And Conrad working to the ribcage of Neil Grove.
And I've talked to guys who say Neil Grove has great gas, but it's hard to have gas when there's a guy as heavy as Cole Conrad sitting on top of you. That wears you out quickly, especially in full mount. Because right now, Grove is gripping with everything he has, trying to roll Cole Conrad over.
Conrad still working out a full mount.
So far, not able to sit up and do a lot of damage.
You see Grove holding Conrad around the back of the head, trying to keep his man close, chest to chest. Grove obviously, Jimmy, does not want to allow Conrad to sit up and rain down those shots.
And only 39 seconds left. His mindset at this point might just be to hold on and see the end of the round. He's still trying to roll, trying to get Cole Conrad off of him.
10 MMA victories for Neil Grove.
Now locking up the Americana. He's cranking it hard.
Going for the finish is Cole Conrad here in round number 1.
20 seconds left. Can he finish it? He's got a lot of weight on that arm.
There's the tap! And just like that, Cole Conrad becomes Bellator's first ever world heavyweight champion.
That beautiful job. Great takedown straight to the mount. Good submission. Beautiful job.
A thorough victory for Cole Conrad.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap officially at 4:45 into round number 1 by way of a key lock. The winner by submission, and now the new Bellator World Heavyweight Champion, Cole Polar Bear Conrad.
Dan Mergliotta is the referee.
You ready, Paul? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight!
Round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is sponsored by Warrior. Family is worth fighting for. Warrior in theater September 9th. Paul Buontello is in the yellow trunks. Bellator's heavyweight world champion Cole Conrad is in the white and black trunks.
The question is, how long is this fight going to stay on the feet? How much will Cole Conrad play on the outside?
Look, I'm very excited to see how he has improved his striking. You know, he's a world-class wrestler, and he spent some time with Pat Barry in his stand-up, and it's going to be very exciting to see how he takes on with this fight.
Doing well with that left jab so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still standing, and he's sticking it out. He's got the reach advantage. He should use it.
Cole Conrad said that before he looked for a takedown, and he wasn't really going to shoot. He thought he could get a trip or a throw from the underhooks in the clinch. He wanted to showcase the improvement in his striking. Buontello said it is imperative that he keeps this fight standing.
Man, I'm really impressed with this jab so far.
Yeah, he's definitely learned something from Pat Barry and the guys in his camp, throwing some kicks out there as well.
Now, have you heard the expression, there's nothing more dangerous than a little knowledge? You know, a lot of guys pick up a little bit of boxing, kickboxing, and suddenly think they're strikers and get away from their base. Do you think that might happen?
Bellator Fighting Championships opens its 5th season Saturday night, September 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, live right here on MTV2. You'll see the quarterfinal round of the new welterweight tournament as Bellator begins its new season of 12 straight weeks of live fighting. Bellator Fighting Championship Season 5 opener, Saturday night, September 10th from Caesars in Atlantic City, live and free, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on MTV2.
I'm a little surprised at the passivity of Paul Buontello. I think he's waiting for Cole Conrad to come in, maybe land an uppercut. I don't think he expected this jab from the outside.
Yeah, I'm excited watching him fight. You know, he's got all the experience. I'd like to see how he deals with Paul Conrad, especially when Paul, you know, goes for the takedown. Be very exciting to see how he's going to deal with that.
Neil, Paul Buontello told Jimmy and me that he thought that he would win, but it would go all 15 minutes, he would win a decision. That really goes against how you think when you enter the cage.
No, definitely. I like to finish a fight. Paul Buontello is a finisher. I've seen him finish a lot of fights. It'd be exciting to see if he's able to do it.
So far, just not having any success. I don't think he thought he would be the guy who has to come in and close distance. He thought Cole Conrad would be doing that to him, maybe set up the hook or the uppercut, but he finds himself fighting from the outside against a wrestler.
Yeah.
You tell him, I just don't think this is what he game planned for.
No, I think, you know, Cole Conrad is very, you know, experienced wrestler. He knows he can take him down. He knows he can win him doing or beat him doing that. But right now he's comfortable. He's got the confidence with his stand-up, and you know he's proving it. He's still standing there and he's still trading.
That's one thing about being inexperienced as a fighter. You can't really judge a fighter until he's had 10, 15 fights. You got to remember, he's the Bellator world champion, but extremely inexperienced. He's improving a lot in between fights.
He's training with some of the best fighters in the world. You know, he's training with Brock Lesnar. He's got some really good striking coaches. So, although he's been, you know, out of competition for so long, he is training with some of the best fighters out there.
Closing in on 90 seconds remaining in round number 1. We've heard some boos from the crowd here at Mohegan Sun, a bit of disquiet here. Perhaps they were expecting a quick takedown from Conrad, Bellator's reigning world heavyweight champion. This is Conrad's first fight since, Neil, he defeated you to win this title, the inaugural Bellator heavyweight world title in Kansas City, Missouri in October. Conrad said that when he defeated you, Neil, it validated to him everything he'd been doing in MMA, and he has lost all of his anxiety as a fighter. He now feels confident.
That's really nice of him to say. He is a nice guy. We've met up so many times since the fight, and we get along pretty well.
You see here, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Conrad frustrated at Paul Buontello's inactivity on the feet. Looks like he's a little frustrated that Paul Buontello isn't moving in and trading. I don't think he would have anticipated this going into this fight.
Buontello has been working with high-level MMA wrestlers. Daniel Cormier, Mo Lawal, UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez, and he's been working from scrambling, getting to his feet from the bottom position. Perhaps he should have worked with some strikers.
I think the inactivity of Paul Buontello is what the people are booing for, because right now Conrad is depicting the pace. He is controlling, he's got control of the cage, he's throwing the punches, and you know, so far Paul Buontello's done absolutely nothing.
He's controlling this fight by controlling the range so far.
We were expecting a takedown, all stand-up thus far. Conrad, one of the greatest American heavyweight wrestlers of his generation.
Great collegiate wrestler, but right now he's showcasing his striking. That's surprising.
You ready? You ready? Let's go fight, guys.
Round number 2 of this Bellator super fight, non-title in the heavyweight division. Paul Buontello versus Bellator's first and thus far only heavyweight world champion, Conrad. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
10-9, Conrad controlled the distance, controlled the range. Not a dominant round, but certainly a 10-9.
And Neil, on your unofficial scorecard.
I'd give it 10-9 to Conrad as well. He definitely controlled the cage, threw most of the punches and landed a couple of kicks.
Paul Buontello is in the yellow trunks. Conrad is in the white and black trunks.
In between rounds, Paul Buontello got a thrashing from his corner. They were extremely upset. You see he's coming out throwing a lot more hands this time around.
How ironic is it that Buontello said, I have to have this fight be standing for me to win, and yet you both scored 10-9 on your unofficial scorecards for Conrad, and it was 5 minutes of stand-up.
It's one of those things you can't understand if you haven't fought. He game planned for Conrad to come in, catch him coming in with his hands down, uppercut. Conrad is playing an outside game using his jab. It's just not the fight he expected.
Buontello, Jimmy, told us Conrad is going to be punch, punch, clinch, punch, punch, clinch, and it's not been that at all.
Guys, I think it could be that Paul Buontello is waiting for Conrad to gas out. Maybe that's his game plan. He's changed it. He's waiting for Conrad to get tired, and then he's going to start attacking.
Well, Buontello, to your point, Neil, said that he felt he had vastly superior cardio over the Bellator heavyweight world champion.
You know, cardio's certainly been a problem for Conrad in the past. He's looked gassed in other fights, and if you think about it, those fights were in his realm most of the time on the mat. This guy can wrestle for hours, but he's on the feet, and his gas is looking very good.
And again, Buontello thought that he would win a 15-minute decision. All 3 rounds would go the distance. He wasn't predicting a quick finish at all.
Well, he's doing better in this second round, throwing a lot more punches, but it's still him moving backward. It's still Conrad initiating.
I'm happy with Paul Buontello's performance right now. He is frustrating Conrad, and that's something I haven't seen from him yet. Nobody's been able to frustrate him. Right now, Conrad is standing there, and he's not happy.
Definitely Paul Buontello is turning it up, showing him different angles for punches, better footwork. One thing you have to wonder is once he starts maybe losing the stand-up battle, will we see that wrestler come out?
No, for sure. I mean, when he's in trouble, he's definitely going to take Paul Buontello down.
And good job with that inside leg kick.
Past the halfway mark of this fight. All stand-up, as improbable as that is.
I would like to see Paul Buontello get engaged a bit more. He's got superior hands. He needs to use them.
You see, Conrad, especially when he moves in, his hands get very low, very vulnerable to that overhand right, but Paul Buontello is really yet to throw it.
Well, Buontello also said he did not want to throw kicks until round 3. But it's Conrad just like that throwing kicks.
Both these guys still look like they are trying to feel each other out, to be honest. You know, there we go.
Conrad, there's the clinch. Could not get the underhooks.
And good footwork by Paul Buontello. Want to frustrate a wrestler? Use your footwork. Don't stand in front of him.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of takedowns tonight in the fights on the ground, but I'd actually like to see Paul Conrad now take Paul Buontello down. He must have worked on his submissions.
Watch some low strikes with the kicks. Watch some low strikes.
Warning to Cole Conrad for a kick near the cup. Buontello didn't even flinch, which tells us it didn't land, or if it did, it didn't hurt.
Anytime you work that inside leg kick, groin strikes are going to be a problem. It's been an effective kick for him so far.
A lot of bounce in this step of Cole Conrad and another outside thigh kick.
But his punch volume has gone down through a lot of jabs in the first round. That was what was keeping Paul Buontello off balance and at bay, but he's not throwing as much in this second round. He's letting Paul Buontello get his timing back.
Second time in this fight. Both times it's occurred here in round 2. The Cole Conrad has tried to tie up, tried to get the clinch, and Buontello slipped away.
Now talking about strategy, 30 seconds left in a very close round. The guy who turns it up could steal this round.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I'd like to see a takedown right now. Either of these guys can do it.
Now, if you're in Cole Conrad's corner, are you saying take him down, ice this round?
Yeah, definitely. That's what he's good at, and he needs to do it. He's bleeding from the mouth right now, and...
Good exchange there. I thought Buontello was a little more accurate. Very tough round to score.
Closing stages of round 2, and would you believe it is all stand-up thus far.
Great, good job, good job, good job.
As you see our Bellator girl, Mercedes Terrell, indicating that round 3 is upon us. Seconds away from the start of round 3 in this Bellator super fight in the heavyweight division. Non-title, Paul Buontello versus Bellator's heavyweight world champion Cole Conrad. Jimmy on your scorecard.
Very close second round. I gave it to Paul Buontello. He was a little bit busier, moved back a lot right through. I thought he threw a few more punches, a little more accurate.
Neo, how do you have this scored?
I gave that round to Cole Conrad, 10 to him, 9 to Paul Buontello. I think, you know, although Paul Buontello was more active and he started punching back, Cole Conrad's punches were more clear, he was hitting more, he was kicking more.
And he was also initiating a lot. It was Paul Buontello moving backward. That's a big factor in the judging.
Paul Buontello is in the yellow trunks. Cole Conrad is in the white and black trunks. And again, Paul Buontello said, I will not throw kicks until round 3 when I believe that Cole Conrad will be tired.
See, I usually don't politely disagree with guys your size, but, you know, we can disagree. It's okay. You know, I'm not that scared. I'm all right.
It's what it's about. I think we both see things differently, and it's good that we could...
Oh, good shot by Cole Conrad. He is all over Paul Buontello. What will he do with this position?
The 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion from the University of Minnesota pounces immediately.
He's got one hook in. Paul Buontello trying to roll out.
Conrad going for the rear naked choke.
Well, you see the jiu-jitsu inexperience here. Doesn't have that other hook in. Isn't in a great position.
This is definitely where Cole wants to fight. He can control his man being on top of him. He should just go for the ground and pound. Forget about the submissions. He's the bigger guy. Just lay into him.
This is what Buontello has been working with the likes of Mo Lawal. Getting up from this bad position. He said he was starting in this type of position, getting the big, strong wrestlers off of it.
Yeah, Mo Lawal does not have any national titles. Mo Lawal fights at 205. Cain Velasquez, an outstanding wrestler, but once again, no national titles. It's hard to simulate this kind of pressure.
I've been in this position before, guys. Getting Cole Conrad off of you is going to take a lot of work. You know, Paul Buontello would have his hands full here.
Lefts to the ribcage now thrown by Cole Conrad. This is quite frankly what we all expected within the first 30 seconds of this fight, and it takes until round 3.
And talk about that a little bit. How much energy does it take out of you being in this position? Let's say you spend a couple minutes with Conrad on top of you, a big heavyweight on top of you. It's so draining, so fatiguing.
And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. What Buontello needs to do right now is he needs to get his back up against that fence and try and get up on his knees again. This position, this is what Conrad wants. This is where he drains you out and he can soften you out with those punches. I tell you what, those punches hurt.
This week on an all-new Impact Wrestling, will Hulk Hogan be forced to cash the check that Ric Flair's mouth wrote? And can World Champion Kurt Angle end the winning streak of Crimson? Don't miss all of the action. This Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Spike, where wrestling matters again. Guys, you know, when I was a little kid, one of my heroes of broadcasting was the great pro wrestling announcer Gordon Soley. That kind of makes me feel like Gordon Soley reading that promo. Can we cash the check that his mouth wrote? I like that.
Glad you get to live your dream, Sean.
This, I think, is Paul Buontello's nightmare. Stuck on the bottom, all of the weight and pressure of Conrad.
You know, but it's one of those things where, you know, does he have the jiu-jitsu experience to capitalize? I agree with you, Neil. I think he should keep his weight on him. And like you were saying before, these short shots, you don't think they hurt that bad. They're not the big, you know, the big ones that get the reaction from the crowd, but man, they hurt.
No, they hurt, and he's staying active. He hasn't stopped punching him.
There's the stand-up.
Just as you were saying, I think he was busy enough. That's a little bit early in the stand-up.
Ready? Turn around, Paul. Ready? Go.
15th and final minute of this fight. Time called by referee Dan Mercogliata. It's loose tape on the right glove of Conrad.
Yeah, I think seeing as this is a super fight and not a title fight, it was easy for Mercogliata to pick them up, stand them up. He was in a dominant position there, and he was doing all the work.
Will Conrad go for a takedown, or will he be content to stand and throw like he's done for so much of this fight and what he did exclusively in rounds 1 and 2?
You know Buontello's going to go for broke. He looks, Conrad looks very tired. I don't think standing and banging is a good idea right now. I think he needs to get another takedown and ice this round.
A mouse has formed under the left eye of Conrad.
Good body shot. Nice left hook by Conrad.
Will Paul Buontello go all out now? Will he start throwing the kicks?
Now, I'm very impressed with Conrad's performance tonight. His stand-up has improved a hell of a lot since all the fights I've seen of him last year. He's been doing a good job.
Paul Buontello really selling out. You saw him get behind that uppercut, but only 10 seconds left. Not enough time to capitalize.
Conrad throwing the knees, not looking for one more takedown. The bell, the end of the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the official judges' decision, we'll go to the scorecards. Cardo Urso scores the fight 29-28, while judges John Billick and Pat Avery both see the fight 30-27. All for the winner by unanimous decision. He is the reigning Bellator heavyweight world champion, Polar Bear Conrad.
Okay, fighters, this is for the heavyweight championship. There's no final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come out ready to fight.
This Bellator world title fight is under the unified rules of MMA, scheduled for 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed. Eric Prindle is in the gray trunks. Bellator's undefeated heavyweight world champion. Conrad is in the black and red trunks. Round number 1. Jason Herzog is the referee.
Well, we are 10 seconds in, and Conrad hasn't gone for a takedown. That's surprising a lot of people.
He said within the first 30 seconds. He really respects the power of Prindle.
See Prindle swinging for the fence, but now clinch time.
There's the takedown, 22 seconds in.
That's what happened. Eric Prindle threw a big left hook. That was all Conrad needed.
Conrad said it would be a double leg. It was actually from the clinch, but a takedown nonetheless. Prindle, who did not want to be in this position, now in danger of Conrad locking on a Kimura.
Very hard to finish from half guard. Look for him to lock this up and then get that leg out. But he might put pressure on anyway.
Prindle holding half guard. Conrad going for the quick submission win. Prindle trying to sit up.
Oh, he's already in pain.
A lot of crank. And there's the tap! Just like that, a lightning strike. Successful title defense for Conrad.
Man, he locked up that Kimura.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of a Kimura, the end comes 1 minute, into round number 1, the winner by submission and still the Bellator heavyweight world champion, Polar Bear Conrad.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now.